It's time. We're approaching the end game within MLB The Show 25. So many incredible 99 overall cards releasing within the past few weeks that you're going to want for your team. But which ones are truly the best of the best? Well, let's find out on the tier list as we rank every position in the game in search of the top dog at every spot across the diamond. As always, I want to hear your favorite cards that you're really loving right now. Some budget B, some underrated gems that myself and a lot of other people aren't looking at. Leave a like if you guys do enjoy these videos. As always, this is probably one of the last tier lists we're going to get this year. Subscribe to the channel and let's go. But as always, I'm going to insert this boring, obligatory forewarning. These are general online competitive rankings. Your own personal stats and experiences should always dictate who you're going to want to play at any given position. So with that out of the way, let's begin. Catchers. Once again, it is a man among no peers at S tier. It is Cal Raleigh. He is truly the best, and I don't think he's going to be overtaken at any point this year. Fantastic swing as a switch hitter who's got maxed out hitting. The defense, it doesn't matter. If you're not spiking balls in the dirt, which you shouldn't be anyway, you're not going to notice him defensively at all. And for the fact of the matter, he can also play first base. Check out this video we put out the other day detailing the entire out-of-position Bible within Diamond Dynasty in MLB The Show 25. It really should give you a breath of fresh air, realizing you've got a lot more versatility and choice, options, than you probably thought. That being said, I'm not going to put Cal at first base just because it would really become jumbled if we had like every card in every position. But for catchers, only catchers can catch. And Cal Raleigh is certainly the best. To move on to A tier, there's certainly some good runners up here. Ted Simmons, I absolutely right now would say is catcher number 2 in the game. He's essentially Cal with the same sort of contact and clutch. He's just got less power. He's faster, about double the speed of Cal. And he's got a little bit better fielding. Again, unless you have pop time, that's the only thing I really care about for catchers. And Shea Langoliers does have catcher pop time. Now, using this card, it's actually pretty fun to have him behind the plate. It is by no means like going to stop people from base stealing, and it is not going to throw them out even 50% of the time in my practice if you've got someone who knows how to steal, because there is better and worse ways to steal in the game. And if you have 99 speed, 99 steal, ultimately Shea's going to help, but he's not going to completely eliminate the threat. But it's really the first catcher this year where you have that dual threat of pop time, and he's a very damn good hitter. Salvi is pretty good. He's maxed out against righties, 125, 125. Pretty good against lefties. The speed is a little bit lower. Definitely do like him. Always one of my more favorite catchers in the game. Move on to B tier. This is really, I think Mike Napoli is new to the tier list this time around, which I like Mike. I certainly think he's at the front of B tier alongside Will Smith. Both incredible offensive catchers. Probably could have put him at A, but I do prefer these three a little bit over Napoli. Will Smith, also love that card. He's maxed out contact. He's got pretty good power. I like the swing. Just the intangibles not quite up there with those 399s. Otherwise, a lot of guys who've been here for a long time. Carlos Santana, this is like his 3rd month amongst a pretty elite competition still. Truly marvelous card there, even if you wanted to use him now. Like Parallel 5, Carlos Santana, he still smacks. Then you've got Adley Rutschman as the switch hitter. You've got the 96, Joe Mauer, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Piazza, the locally Irish. You've got some good options there at B tier. You move on down to see you've got Caden Bodine, Hunter Goodman, Jason Varitek, Jorge Posada, another Salvi is Monty Grandal. These are still good catchers. There's just better out there at this point. Move on to D tier. Probably would not be using these guys. Incredible swing for Ted Simmons. The 99 is like 20K or free in the XP path. I would choose the upgrade there. Could be used if you are good enough, but you're going to get better results with the guys at the top here. Cal Raleigh got a hell of a lot cheaper the other day when they put out the flash sale. The Buxton, the Kiminero, the O'Neill Cruz, they definitely went down in price a good bit, so he's easier to get. Otherwise, you've got Shea Langoliers, who's free in the program. Ted Simmons, like we said, is free in the XP path. Catcher, easy to outfit for outstanding performance. We'll move on to first base, which is kind of a crapshoot once again this time around. It's hard to decipher truly who is like the best, because I love this Chase Utley. I've had such good play with this Chase Utley so far. At second base, at first base, he mashes both sides. He's quick. He's got good defense. Incredible swing. Cody Bellinger, much the same. He's got higher contact and power, of course. One of the best swings in Diamond Dynasty history. You've got the Ted Simmons, aforementioned. There's Dick Allen, of course. Everybody loves themselves some Dick, and this card, give me an extra helping, because he's a lot of fun as well. You'll see him in a couple different positions here. Gil Hodges, he's still here from launch, and Mark McGwire. Quick question for those of you guys out there. Do you like Mark McGwire? I swear he gets cards and I never see him get used. Is his swing that bad that you guys refuse to play him? Because otherwise, he has maxed out power, maxed out clutch, maxed out contact left. Only 101 contact right. Attributes are phenomenal. I swear, I just don't see him much. I get this one's a chase card generally with McGwire since he came into the game. If you pick any of these six, I think you've got as good as you can get at first base. And that is not to diminish some of the guys at the high end of A. Once again, this is in no particular order. I don't think Frank Thomas is better than Napoli or Rod or Mr. Nicholas Kurtz either. I really do like that Nick Kurtz, almost slipped up there. He's maxed out against righties. He crushes. The vision is undoubtedly a little bit low at 61. Again, vision, it increases the timing window, makes it easier to hit, makes it easier to get perfects, to be on time with the ball. And it also helps you remain competitive on pitches that you are not so on. Helps you foul them off and not strike out. That's lower. He could be better against lefties. Phenomenal swing. It's always a little tough for me to rank swings on here more so than attributes, because we are talking general statements. Some people love certain swings, and I try and account for that, but the attributes are what the attributes are. And trust me, Kurtz definitely has an S-tier swing. Otherwise, you've got Rod Carew. I like him. He's he got the batting stance. It was always kind of fun. Not a ton of power on Rod. Salvi, as we talked about, same as Napoli. Both very good hitters. Probably better off at first base, to be honest. Matt Olson, ton of power. He's got like 116 against both sides. Good contact. Kind of like Nick Kurtz. Just not quite as, a little bit more balanced. Just not quite as good versus one individual side. And then Big Frank Thomas, the big hurt, hopped up on Nugenics. He's always going to be pretty damn good as well. B tier, we've got some good cards. A lot of the All-Star Game content. Freddie Freeman, Hunter Goodman, Kyle Stowers, Vladdy, two versions of Vladdy, Pete Alonso, Matt Olson. Again, really good cards. If you have one of these, you absolutely can do well with them. Like Freddie Freeman, love the swing, same as Pete and Vlad. That Hunter Goodman, one of my most underrated cards, one of the most underrated players in Major League Baseball this year. Slam Tana, once again. That Yandy Diaz got like maxed out contact. He's kind of like a righty Rod Carew to an extent, just not as quick. Ethan Conrad for a draft card, pretty good. You get a switch hitter in Lance Berkman. B tier is pretty good, pretty fun. C tier, you do drop off, where I probably wouldn't recommend these at this point unless you are just God's gift to gaming with their swing. Another Mr. Kurtz. This one cost you stubs. The other one cost you nothing and is better. I think that's an easy choice. Otherwise, you've got some fun ones. You got Brendan Donovan. He's really good. Raul Ibanez. Fun card as well. Not as good as some of the other ones on this list, but definitely a guy you could spank the ball with, crush it. Adam Dunn, the same could be said. Anthony Santander, Carlos Delgado, for sure had their moments within this year. Taper on down to F tier, certainly some better options at this point for you. But wanted to include them because very, very, very occasionally will you see them still being used. And I love it. I kind of hate it. Whenever I see somebody with like a 90 overall on their team at this point of the year, I know they're hitting 3 home runs against me. I mean, you don't simply have like a 91. That Santander, I still see sometimes. And like every time he hits a home run in the game, it's insane. S tier, Chase, Cody, and Ted Simmons, all free. Those are going to be really good for you. I don't think you're going to be going south in the first base position. Move on to second base, where you see a familiar face once again. Chase Utley, love the card. It can be a little tough, lefty-lefty, and I get that. My biggest tip, when you're hitting lefty-lefty, people are probably going to throw one of two things. They're going to throw fastballs up and in, or they're going to throw breaking balls away. The slider shrinkage being what it is, your PCI shrinks on breaking balls heading outside, lefty-lefty, righty-righty scenarios. Those are the two pitches you can kind of sit on. That might help. It certainly helps me when I've got to chase out the Kyle Schwarber and they bring in like an Andrew Miller. But if you can't stand lefty-lefty, Ketel Marte is also there, and he's going to ensure outside of facing Gerangelo Cinche or Pat Venditti, you're going to have the advantage at the dish. Ketel's awesome. He's exceptional. He's so good, great swing, can play a handful of positions, good against both sides. He just will cost you. He's still like $300K. Ryan Sandberg, rest in peace, the Hall of Famer with this new program. I really like the card. He's got great contact, I think like 120 and 110, which is really good, of course. And then pretty solid power, 90 and 87 against righties and lefties. On top of that, Diamond Shield defense at second, 90 speed, maxed out steal. That'll play. Those three would be my top picks at second base. Again, as we talk about in that video, shortstops, any shortstop can play second base. They lose, I think, 10% of their fielding, arm accuracy, and reaction. Watch the video because I've got it all detailed and laid out real pretty on there. A tier, this Bobby Grich, incredibly underrated. I swear I really did not see that card get the love, get the shine it deserved, because really is pretty good. That's a pretty damn good card. You've got Brooks Lee. I mean, for how good that card is to be quick sell value is utterly insane. You'll still see that Brooks every now and again online, actually quite often. He's maxed out contact, good power right, solid against lefties, but again, the contact's going to play. Switch hitting swing. Woo, is it sweet. Jose Altuve. I'll say this. He's had 6 at-bats for me in ranked. He's hit 4 home runs. I love my short kings. Jazz Chisholm. I do like good defense at second base, but you don't get a ton from Brooks or Jazz or Junior, for example. It's up to you. As I brought up before, higher difficulties, or if you get lots of strikeouts when you play your games, well, less balls are being put into play, meaning you don't have to rely on them too much or as much as other players. So if they don't see the ball too often, if you don't get a lot of ground balls hit to second and short, not saying it doesn't matter, it very much so does, but more offense might matter more to you in those scenarios. And it's tough too, because they absolutely can get the job done. It just really will frustrate you when they get a poor reaction, one seeps through the infield. Do it at your own risk, but man, Jazz and Junior, they really mash all those home run derby cards. Rod Cruz, we talked about, really good at second base as well. Good defender. B tier, some of these guys were really good a couple of weeks ago, like that Ava Arquette, Alex Bregman, Gavin Keelan. Really enjoyed them when they were on my team. They just kind of had their time passed at this point. Trey, you could argue, could be an A tier. That swing is just so good. Super high contact, great speed, of course, as per normal with Trigger Trey. Veiva, Eloy, fun draft card. A lot of the draft swings are kind of busted. I did like Ava. I used him quite a bit. I know he's got a good swing. Veiva as well. A lot of them have absolutely atrocious loads. That sounded insane. But their swings are really bad. I don't know if they did that intentionally, but they almost have their load, you know, they're transferring their power and they have one leg up in the air as they're swinging. It is really bass-backwards to watch. Westy and Matt McClain, a couple of new cards that are pretty good, but definitely you could find better. C-tier, there's nothing wrong with these cards. You absolutely, if you love the swing, you can go in and do damage with that Brendan Donovan, with the Johnny India, CJ Abrams, who's got really bad defense, even worse than the home run derby cards. Wenzel Perez, the switch hitter, of course, is pretty fun. Ketel Marte, even the Lime series is still really good, really fun. D-tier, again, like that Brian Roberts had his moment, for sure. He was great when he was out. That Jorge Polanco, the same could be said there. There's just better at this point. And certainly from F-tier, yeah, once again, second base. And I'm happy to say this because this has not been the case earlier on in the year. Chase Utley's free. Ryan Sandberg is free from the standpoint if you play the game, if you play it like Sandberg, he might take you 2 hours. You're going to get that card, which is pretty good. Even down to A tier. Brooks is quick sell value. Jazz the same. Altuve's in the new program. Rod Carew is in Diamond Quest. You can get these cards very attainably, if that's a word, and I really do appreciate that. It really opens up as we go throughout the year. Third base, could kind of say similar here. Not quite to the same extent. Technically, Ted Simmons is the only one that you can get from just playing. Otherwise, it's collections for Dick, Ethan, Bautista, and J-Ram. S tier. 5 guys here, I love them all. I mean, they're all really good. Dick is, of course, as we talked about, he crushes, especially against lefties. They've put out some good right-handed pitchers recently, but I still think more often than not, you're going to face a lefty in your opponent's starting rotation. Ethan Holiday, doesn't matter. I hit better against lefties than versus righties with Ethan Holiday, for whatever that means. Jose Bautista, the brand new collection. If there was a 1A here, it would be him. Joey Bats is basically maxed out everything hitting. He's truly ridiculous with the best bat flip that you could possibly ask for. Jose Ramirez, he's my favorite card this year. If I had to limit it to one person, it is Jay. Actually, it might be Francisco Lindor. We'll talk about that in a second. And then Teddy Sims, of course, is still awesome. A tier. I feel like a lot of these cards just got passed by so quick. Like that Chipper Jones. I barely got a chance to use Chipper because that was right before the All-Star update where they put out so many new cards. This is a great card. I just feel like I did not get the chance to use him, unfortunately. That Gunnar Henderson. I loved his cards last year. And in a limited sample that I've used this one, big fan of the swing once again. It hasn't really changed much. It's tough to really get around to using all these cards. And I challenge you, I implore you, try different cards. Don't be settled with, oh, I'm hitting 300 with this guy. Try somebody else. What if he hit 310? Joe Torre, brand new card. He's got like max contact, of course, as you would figure, with a batting title card. Not that that means much, like a no-hitter card doesn't mean maxed out hit per 9. Kind of weird how they rationalize these things. Westy and Jr., of course, as we talked about, same as Brooks. Ryan Sandberg is a beast. Willie Castro, he's a shortstop. He can play second. He can play third. He can play first. He can play the outfield. He can play him a lot of different spots, but third base is a listed secondary. Scotty Rowland, I don't see him that much anymore, which is kind of interesting. He was the first 99 Legend and Flashback collection. I see a hell of a lot more of Ted Simmons at 3B, Dick Allen, Bautista, J-Ram, even like a Brooks Lee over a Scott Rowland. I think a lot of people are not in love with the swing. B tier, Couple swings that I do love. Corey Seager, Ellie de la Cruz. They could be 80s, and I would still hit pretty well with them. Those swings, some of my favorites. If you can time it up, you're going to be successful. They're awesome. They rock. You still have some other guys. Manny Machado, he's new here. Haven't seen him yet. Same as Kyle Seager. They're both good. They both hit really well. You can't go wrong, once again. Starting to go a little south on C tier. Certainly good cards, though. Gary Sheffield doesn't quite have the defense that I would like. Don't love the swing either. I feel like there's almost no lefties. Challenge. Name a left-handed hitter in the game who has a bad swing. I can tell you lots of righties, very few lefties. But yeah, a lot of mid-90s solid cards had their time or kind of got buried. Top now cards always kind of get buried. Like that Alex Freeland he's solid, but they released so much better stuff yesterday that you're like, oh, he came out? Forgot about that. D tier, also some solid cards. Unfortunately, some of the draft content just got decimated with their swings. Really annoying, really hard to hit with them when it's so distracting. Watching their load happen as the pitch is crossing the plate, it's really tough for me to hit with them. So I'm going to grade them accordingly. D tier, F tier, that's what you got. Once again, third base, I think absolutely is a pretty fair position. You could certainly rock Ted Simmons. You're going to have a very fun switch hitter at third base. Dick Allen, JRM, not too difficult to get. Ethan Holiday also got much cheaper within the past couple of days. But even if you don't have one of them, if you have a Brooks, if you have a Chipper, a Gunner, a Rhino, you're going to be doing pretty damn well at 3B. Move on to shortstop, the last of the infield. 5 guys here once again. A last-minute inclusion. The lone non-99 here, Frankie Lindor. I mentioned that JRM might be my favorite card this year. I don't know if that's exactly true because Francisco Lindor exists. He's been really good. I mean, this is basically Hall of Fame and Legend ranked and Weekend Classic as well. I'm pretty happy, pretty pleased with that. Seems like every time there's a big spot, it's Francisco Lindor bailing me out. So yeah, for me, absolutely. He's going to crawl up to S tier alongside Ketel Marte. He's awesome. Ethan Holiday, he rocks. J-Raw. I really do like this Jimmy Rollins again. It's tough. I had him for a bit. I sold him high at 390. He's like 250 right now, so I might buy him back. Love me the Short Kings once again. J-Raw, Altuve, Francisco Lindor. I think I have something there. The short guys, it's easy for me to hit with. I know some people it's the opposite. The Willie Adames. How about this? His debut yesterday for me, a grand slam to make my opponent slam his controller through a sheet of drywall. You can argue whether or not he should have got it because he just got the 97. I don't think you can argue how good that card is. Man, is this Willie Adames. He's something special. He's really good. S tier, bunch of great cards. Move on to A tier. I limited it to 3 here. Kind of interesting. There's 3 A tier and 5 S tier, but I try to measure these guys up to their skill level. Eli Willits, Ellie de la Cruz, Gunnar Henderson. Shortstop is the premier spot for defense within the infield. I can live with a poor defender at catcher, first base, third base, second base. Really value at high shortstop most of all. Guys like Ellie are just so good because they're so tall. And you can dive anywhere across the infield and prevent the ball from going past, saving runs that way, making Superman dives and throwing it to first. They really bail you out a ton. And that kind of does hurt with the Frankie Lindor or a Jimmy Rollins, even though they have better fielding than Ellie de la Cruz. They just don't have the reach, the length that he does. 2 switch hitters and Gunner here. Excellent swings. Really do like them. That Eli got cheaper if you want to try him out. Ava Arquette. I really love that card. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I really do like his swing, and that's why he ranks high. He's got good attributes. Hundreds across the board on everything hitting. You can't really sneeze at that. Bobby Witt Jr. Would like to see more power here. They went defense and speed again. It's tough to make a 98 Bobby Witt Jr. when he's so good at every aspect of baseball. Still a really good card with a great swing. Brooks Lee, Westy, Junior Caminero, Willie Castro. Awesome cards. Robin Yount. He's not the most exciting 99 out there, but he's pretty good. There's not that many 99s yet. And he's like 5K. If you're just getting the game or you took a little while break, try him out. He's going to be pretty good to get you going. Then O'Neal Cruz. I just can't put him and Junior Caminero as high as I would like to. They have no defense. And it is really a killer to have them at shortstop for me. C tier, a lot of familiar faces. I think we've talked about pretty much everybody here at this point. Jeremy Pena, Jacob Wilson, this Willie Adames. He's good. There's just a better one that's free, and this one costs you stubs. So why would you want that one? D tier, good cards. There's just lots of them. That Bo Bichette's still a pretty damn good hitter at this point of the year. Derek Jeter, Michael Young, Jacob Wilson, ton of contact. Junior Caminero really can hit, even though the home run derby card can hit even more. F tier, once again, you got some good players that kind of routinely find themselves in F tier. S tier, you got Lindor. He's like 15K. You've got Adames. Play the program. You're going to get him. A tier, you got Gunner. You can get him for play the program. No trouble at shortstop finding a really good player. Let's move on to the outfield, where I narrowed it down to 5 for the true best of the best. Unfortunately, this is not slow pitch softball, so you could only have 3 outfielders. I think it's Beltran, Jose Bautista, Ken Griffey Jr., Ketel Marte, and Ted Williams. If you ask me to rank them within that 5, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I cannot do it. It's like trying to pick between my favorite kids. I mean, you've got a couple of switch hitters in Carlos Beltran and Ketel Marte, a couple of lefties in Ken Griffey Jr. and Ted Williams, and then Jose Bautista. They're all so good. They're all close to maxed out. I guess Ketel actually on the attribute front is the lowest of all here. You know, Bautista and Ted, they're like the same card, just different handedness. They're all so good. Beltran, Lime Series collection, he's tough. Bautista, he is the Legend and Flashback most recent collection. The one before him is Ted Williams. None of these cards are free. Unfortunately, outfield for the true best, it will cost you. I think Ken Griffey Jr. is one I would really recommend because you can get a couple from the program. You get a free card, one of 8 that you need. Within that collection, you get another free pack. So 2 out of the 8 you don't have to pay for. And you get a couple of really good cards along the way to get that Ken Griffey Jr., which I think such a great swing. Pretty much maxed out attributes. He will play for you for the rest of the year. That's the way I would look at it instead of trying to sink everything at a Beltran or trying to catch up so much. You will eventually catch up for Ted and Bautista. That's my plan. That's what I would recommend. Outfield, really good for those 5, but these guys are not that far behind, truly. And that is, to get on a tangent here, that's what I love about MLB The Show compared to a game like Madden, where if I have a little bit lesser cards than my opponent, I don't really feel like I'm at too much of a disadvantage. I mean, if my opponent has Beltran and I have Austin Martin, yeah, I'm fucked. But it isn't such a big disparity like in 2K or Madden and those other sports games. If my opponent is 99s and I have 97s, I think we're almost even slate. The better player should still win pretty much every time. And that's really just because there's not that much of a difference between some of these attributes. I mean, Aaron Judge, he's obviously a 99 here. I know not everybody loves the swing. It definitely, I'll tell you what, going from like a J-Ram, or better yet an Altuve, 5'6", and then having someone 6'8", it is a big differential and very tough to recognize the strike zone with both of those guys in the lineup. And I have a J-Ram, I have a Lindor, so that always throws me off to really understand where the balls are coming in. That being said, he is like second to none attributes. His hitting is incredible. Byron Buxton, I love the swing. This card actually has decent fielding. in center field, I would want better. I value outfield defense quite high because in the infield, if your second baseman doesn't range over, if it doesn't get a good reaction, it's a single. If Aaron Judge or worse than that, Buxton gets a bad reaction, Schwarber, Manny Ramirez, that could be the difference between an out and a triple. It's a lot different. Personally, I don't play guys like Schwarber in my outfield. And even if I did, because I have played Manny in left field, which he's not Schwarber bad defensively, I have to have like a Beltran or someone with like maxed out speed and defense. A Pete Crow Armstrong, for example. Again, it depends a little bit what stadium you play at, but yeah, I beat a lot of opponents because they have shitty outfielders and I turn outs into triples, especially when they have the auto shift on. Cody Bellinger, great card, great swing. We talked about it. Dave Parker, he's free within that Hall of Fame program. You get him on the way to CC Sabathia. Don't sleep on him. He's really quite good. Not the most power, but definitely a really fun card. That Jaron Duran, kind of in that same regard. He's quicker. Really good one. I love his swing. He's been crushing lefty-lefty for me. Unfortunately, he's really only faced lefty, so I can't tell you how he is against righties, but I really do love myself some Jaron Duran. George Springer, he's pretty good. That card that recently came out, you've got the Manny, like we talked about. I love Man Ram. It's just so fun to hit with them and get good results, so it's even better. Acuna might have my favorite. That's not true. Mike Trout is my favorite right-handed swing of the game, but Acuna is close to him. I really love Ronnie's swing. Jackson Chourio, another one that's a lot of fun with like maxed out speed, a guy that you can have in center when you've got a crutch in left or right, like a Schwarber, who I'm crushing with. Again, he's been mauling lefty-lefty. Kind of thanks to that practice, once again, of sitting inside and then looking for the slider. Really look for those two pitches. It's not always going to be that way, but more often than not, that is how you're going to be pitched. Move on to Beach here. There's nothing wrong with these cards at all. Talked about how much I love Altuve. There's that David Justice. Eric Davis is really good. Larry Walker. You've got Eli Willits. Ohtani, I can't put him quite as high, especially if you're going to play him in the outfield. Mr. Nicholas Kurtz, really poor defensively. I would not do it. Reaction, fielding, arm, and speed are all very important. Arm accuracy, not so much. But it makes it tougher to use guys like Kurtz or O'Neal Cruz. PCA is obviously an exception. He's 99 everything. But a lot of those slower guys are going to be here. Gary Sheffield, Jazz Chisholm, bad defense. You kind of get the picture. Even an Altuve has his detriments being 5'6". You're not really going to rob a home run. I mean, I don't think he could jump above the right field fence at Fenway. So good luck if you're going to try using Ant-Man out there in the outfield. A lot of great cards here. I can only gush about him so much with this video not being 4 hours long. C tier. I used Harper the other day. Still crushes. He's still really good. Ian Happ, also a ton of fun. I really loved this card when he came out. You've got this, Randy Rosarena. Always have a great time with him. Tim Raines. He was a monster for me earlier in this year. Didn't get a ton of chance to use him because they released so much other stuff, but yeah, even these cards at C tier I think are pretty good. Even in D tier you've got some studs like this Jaron Duran, this Acuna. Swing plays, as always. You got some good cards that you could definitely get by with if you really love their swing. If you got them parallel 5, even into F tier. Outfield is so stacked. Unfortunately, there's only 3 slots, and this, in my eyes, is the 5 best. These are tough to get. A tier, most of these are pretty reasonable. Bellinger, Dave Parker, Ted Simmons, Acuna, Schwarber, Jaron Duran are all obtainable for just playing the game, which is pretty cool. Let's move on to the starting pitcher market. Who are the best of the best? This is what I've got. We're going to land 7 this time, I think, like last time. I still do think Roger Clemens is the best. I just don't think there's, and I've started to hit him better because I have better hitters. Early game Roger Clemens is the best pitcher they've ever had in MLB The Show. Just because how accurate he was, how great his per-nines were. I mean, you're using like 87 hitters and you're trying to face 99 Clemens. The outlier, the splitter, oh, he's so good. He's still my number one. If I need to win one game, it's Roger Clemens. I also really do like Kershaw, Kluber, and Ubaldo Jimenez, a couple of other 99s. The rarity doesn't really matter too much. The number on the diamond, 99 helps. They're going to have more stats typically, but it's the pitch mix, the repertoire, the mechanics, how they release the ball that really pay dividends. Kershaw, I like him. He could be more accurate. He still does pretty damn well for me. Corey Kluber, he's not quite as dominant as he was in MLB 20 when he had that XP reward path card, but this one's still very good. I certainly have given up hits with Ubaldo Jimenez, but he's been good, and I've seen him do really well for other people. The non-99s, you've got Garrett Crochet. He might be my second or third favorite pitcher in the game right now. Crochet, the way he releases the ball, so difficult to pick up on, and he's got the exact perfect pitch mix that you look for in Diamond Dynasty, or at least that I look for, that I do really well with, tunneling these pitches to keep your opponents off of basically everything. Al Leiter, another lefty, which is just fantastic. He's 95. You would not know that from how he pitches. He is so tough. And John Donaldson, I trotted him out for the Weekend Classic just recently. He still cuts up opponents. At 90 overall, of course, he's parallel 5 at this point, so he gets a little bit, help. John Don, when that 99 comes out, that's when I delete the app from my PlayStation. I'm done playing because I'm not going to be able to hit him. There's nobody better at changing speeds than that John Donaldson. 104 fastball, 96 slider, then like an 82 forkball, then like a 73 slurve. It is that, and he has got a sinker too. He's so good. A tier. Guys a cut below that I really like. Brandon Woodruff. I just tried him again. I've had like 2 or 3 starts. I really like that Woodruff quite a bit. CC Sabathia in that Hall of Fame program. I've always thought CC's one of the better pitchers in Diamond Dynasty. From way back years ago, MLB 16 to now, he's still very good. Chris Sale. Sometimes I can hit him. Sometimes I look like a damn fool trying to hit those mechanics. He can be really, really good. The new Clay Buchholz from World Series, he's a good card. Try him out if you have not yet. I do like him. Corbin Burns. Corbin's always one of the best starters in the game. Some people say, well, you see him so much, he's easier to hit. That is true. He's definitely not as good as he was in his top card in MLB 21. Still very good. Greg Maddux, I can't love as much as I want to because the game does not reward you for painting, unfortunately. And I've had lots of games recently with those pitchers like him, like Logan Webb, where it's really difficult because I'm throwing them and it's on the black, but they don't call it for a strike. And if my opponents aren't when you really get somebody who's locked in and knows the game, those are balls, those work up your pitch count, eventually have to give in, and you throw it in the strike zone at all, they abuse you. Non-consensually. It is really tough sometimes. I get they want to have it be a more offensive atmosphere for the game for Diamond Dynasty. I do kind of wish they would go back to having the strike zone be perfect. If it's on the black, call it a strike. We need ABS in MLB The Show, damn it. Kyson Witherspoon, phenomenal differential on the four-seam and cutter, really tough. Logan Webb, kind of in the same regard, just from a righty. Still like him, same as Greg Maddux, just not quite as good as they could be. They're actually both righties, by the way. Gomer can't see. Paul Skeens, definitely the best Skeenser they've had this year. I really do like him. Zach Wheeler, the best Zach Wheeler. They finally gave them better pitch mixes. Doc, Roy Halladay, really like him. Hall of Fame Plus, always a great start. Tarek Skubal, he's a guy I really don't like to face. Tough mechanics. I get it's difficult sometimes doing his stretch. It's so quick on pinpoint. You really gotta practice to get it down, but if you can do that, he's really tough to hit. Randy Johnson, if he was higher than a 91, he'd be higher here. I feel like he's lost a bit of luster, kind of like we talked about the Corbin Burns. When he first came out in MLB 2022, impossible. MLB 25, still really tough, just not as impossible. It is possible to hit him. B tier, the Cy Young is okay. I've used him. He's actually all right, surprisingly. Junk baller, some people are thrown off by that. Kind of like a Marichal, kind of like a Valenzuela. Drew Rasmussen, pretty good pitcher. I do like him. You've got Tom Seaver, Tom terrific. You do get a noticeable step down at this point, in my opinion, from B tier. You can absolutely have success using these guys, but limited extent, from my opinion, using these pitchers. Like Luis Castillo, I used him yesterday. 4-pitch guys are just tough because that is one less pitch to give your opponent something to worry about, something to think about. I really find 4-pitch guys or less, you really can't pitch them deep because eventually your opponents are going to read you. You've got Nate Pearson. Still really like the differential 104 fastball to like a 78 changeup. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Another Tarek Skubal, still pretty good. Bubich. He is good. I do like him. Bremner, Liam Doyle, Jamie Arnold, Kate Anderson, some of the new draft cards. They're good too. C tier, they're all right. Marichal's cool. Valenzuela, the attributes are just kind of outpaced at this point. Pedro was good when he came out. Sandy had some good outings with him. Fried, kind of like that Max Fried. I probably wouldn't start these guys if my main goal was to win. I like to try pitchers, and I'll try just about anybody in ranked seasons just for the fun of it to see what they can do. But yeah, if I was aiming to win, I probably would not be starting some of these guys. And that's just my perspective from playing the game quite a bit, facing these pitchers, using these pitchers. I can tell what is workable, what I have trouble with, and what I can see pretty easily when I'm hitting. Some pitchers are absolutely a lot tougher than others. I was kind of disappointed in this Dontrelle Willis. I really want him to have like a very good card. It's okay. Definitely missed the mark on my expectations, though. This Giolito's kind of buns. Again, the pitch mix is not really what you're looking for online. He's great in Conquest. He'll throw no-hitters in many seasons, but for online play. Rich Hill, perfect example. We used Rich Hill online the other day. He actually had an okay start. 58 years old, and he's still pitched kind of well. Surprising, for sure. Yeah, starting pitchers, once again, kind of constant throughout the year. Leiter is pretty much quicks out at this point. Kershaw in a program. Kluber, you could get him in Weekend Classic. Crochet, I think, is free in that collection by playing programs. You can get that without buying any cards. Donaldson's free. Yeah, there's lots of good starters that you can get for playing a little bit. Pretty good for starting pitchers. We'll move on to the bullpen and wind this down here. You've got the right-handed arms. There's 3 that stand above in S tier for me. Devin Williams, I still really like him. It is a little scary throwing that screwball sometimes because the par, that perfect accuracy region, the shaded circle representing where on a perfect release that ball could possibly go. It's scary watching it flutter, but it works. It really does a damn good job alongside the fastball, the cutter, and the slider, throwing off your opponents. You just have to mix them right. You can't keep throwing the same thing and expect the same results unless you've got an opponent who just does not learn. Felix Bautista, the mechanics, the hard stuff, the outlier fastball, then the sinker, then the splitter. Him and Lee Smith, very similar mechanics, those power righties. I don't know. I think Lee Smith might be better. He's got the fastball, the cutter, which is disgusting, the slider, and then the forkball. If you know how to tunnel, if you can mix those pitches up, good God. These two are my least favorite pitchers to face in the game. Bar none. Oh my God. Or at least, especially you get to like legend difficulty. my brain melts. Andres Munoz, Joe Nathan, Rob Nen for A tier. I like all three of these here. Give Nen a shot. He was one of those free ones at the beginning of the new multiplayer program. He's pretty good. I've enjoyed him so far. The Joe Nathan, he's going to get cheap pretty soon here. I think this Friday, he's going to be obtainable for free in that multiplayer Rewind Battle Royale Flawless pack. So he'll be like quick sell on the market, or you can pick him up in there. He's really good. 5-pitch mix, great repertoire, again, with some top-notch per-nines. Then Andres Munoz, really good. I still do like Munoz. He's not as nasty as he was. When this card came out, this card gave me a lot of fits. Starting to work around on Mr. Munoz. B tier, still some really good ones. Ben Joyce, I like him a lot. Darren O'Day, I dropped him. The attributes are getting a little bit low. He's still good. He still fries a lot of people. I've had less success with him, and I've really started to hit him a lot more than I did earlier on in the year. He's been out of the game for a few seasons now, so getting that submarine motion back of the game, which there's not a lot of that in Diamond Dynasty the past few years, it threw me off, but I've kind of come back, and it's not too bad to hit. Class A, it's always a gamble whenever you throw him. Some people do like him, some people don't. I guess it depends on whether you pick the over or the under. Gagne, pretty good. I like his other cards, though. I would rather use the silver than the 92. Evan Phillips, wish he had a changeup. Blake Trinan, wish he had a changeup. Griffin Jacks, probably my favorite sweeper of the game. Blue Jay fans, treat him well, please. The new Trevor McGill, outlier knuckle curve with a 2-seam as well and a 4-seam. He's okay. He's not bad, interesting. But again, I really do like a changeup. That's kind of a requirement for me to really have a good pitcher. C tier, got some workable guys here for sure. Overall, I mean, Devin Williams, pretty cheap. Lee Smith, cheap as can get. Joe Nathan's going to be cheap. Munoz, team affinity. Nen, really easy to manage a right-handed bullpen. Move on to the lefties. S tier. 3 of them, Andrew Miller, Aroldis Chapman, and Billy Wagner. And I think Chapman is my favorite still. This card, it just combines everything that you could possibly want. The velo, the mix, the attributes, and the accuracy, which that was always like the one that Chapman did not have. This one is very controllable. And if you manage that 5-pitch mix well, man, is he tough. Again, lefty, don't just spam sinker inside, slider outside. There's a lot more that you can do. Work in those changeups, lefty. I know it's not usually as advised in real baseball. You usually go changeups, opposite handedness, and that's so good when you are facing a righty too, but don't just shy away from that pitch when you are facing the same handedness. Billy Wagner, I do like him quite a bit. This one's finally got the outlier, and he's got the best attributes you're going to find for lefties. He's the lone 99 right now. These 3, that's who I have in my bullpen for lefties. 5 righties, 3 lefties. Aaron Bummer, still really do like him. He's very tough. I just prefer these 3 a little bit more. Morejon is good. Jojo Romero struck out the side for me in his debut yesterday. So that was cool. B tier, another Chapman, another Wagner. Just not quite as good as the better ones, of course. Danny Coulomb, please treat him well, Ranger fans. Josh Hader, very good lefty. Wrobleski can be good. I crush him. I know some people do like him. I mash against that Wrobleski. Pastrami, and then C and D tier. Overall, we've got a lot of great cards once again. Been about 3 weeks since we did a tier list, and like I said, we're probably going to slow down on the production because that just happens right now within MLB The Show. There's not that much. We are entering the dog days of Diamond Dynasty for sure. You know, we are in the beginning of August now. Before you know it, we're going to be up to postseason content and finest cards, where we pretty much have ourselves the true end game and what will be the standalone stars at each given position. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, I like putting these together, just rambling about the game for a little bit. I have fun with it. As always, check out Twitch streams, twitch.tv/GomesDaLegend. We always play the game a bunch over there, play a bunch of ranked seasons and whatnot, have a good time and hang out. And yeah, definitely like to get gameplays up here as well so you guys can see these cards in action. Thank you so much for watching this one as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.